Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanadare Yamuna Tira Vanadare Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaranare Yasodhanandana Prajatana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanadare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupakatamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parikarasagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganavita Shri Vishakanvitam Sha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatata Satarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Giram Yat Kripata Mahamande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayata Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratrise Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanyataya Cha Jagditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So welcome you to the Avir Bhava. Avir Bhava is the appearance day celebration of Lord Ramachandra, and Tiro Bhava is the disappearance day. So for great personalities, it is not referred to as birthday or the day when they pass away. It's referred to as Avir Bhava and Tiro Bhava. So today we are celebrating here the Avir Bhava of Lord Rama or Lord Ramachandra, but the actual Rama Navami took place on Thursday, 26th of March, so a couple of days ago. And today we are celebrating Rama Navami in a grand manner. Most of the temples are celebrating today, which opens on one day a week. So today it's being celebrated across many temples. But on Thursday it was celebrated across the universe, the wonderful Rama Navami celebration. So we welcome you. And the appearance day is similar to the sunrise. The sun rises in the morning and the sun sets in the evening. The sun is always there. The sun did not take birth in the morning, and the sun did not die in the night. The sun is always there, but it appears to us in the morning. It's there throughout the day, and in the night we have darkness. That doesn't mean the sun is dead, and then again it's getting renewed in the morning as a new sun. So the sun is always there. Just like it comes into a vision in the morning and then it disappears from a vision in the evening. So similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they appear, they means in plural, Supreme Personality of Godhead appear and disappear at their own will at their own time that they appear and disappear. We read from Bhagavad Gita 4.7. Anybody? Yada ida dharmasya glanim bhavati bharata. So whenever there is decline in religious principles and there is rise in irreligious activities, I myself appear. So that is the time. So when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he or they wish to appear and disappear, they do that. So today we'll be hearing about the appearance of Lord Rama. So I think by about 11:30 or so, they'll be offering Boga to the Lordship. So you'll see a curtain coming over. But we continue the class till about 11:50 or so, where we'll do Pushpanjali. So we'll cover as much as possible. As you know, Ramayana, especially Valmiki Ramayana, has got 24,000 verses, way bigger than Srimad Bhagavatam that we are used to, which has 14,094 verses, but it's referred to as 18,000 slokas because of the understood meter, etc. Right? But then 14,094 verses, so it's almost, you can say, double is Valmiki Ramayana by itself. So we will hear more about some of the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra in the time that we have today. But what we want to do is we'll start off by reading a fascinating verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, for most of you will know, the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the 10th and the 11th chapter of the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, has got the condensed version. So don't worry about the 24,000 verses of Valmiki Ramayana, but the 9th and the 10th, 9th canto, 10th and the 11th chapter has got the condensed version of the entire Ramayana in there as summary. So what we will do is, we'll pick a verse, not from the 9th canto, but surprisingly from the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which we usually not spend too much time, but 5th canto has got a fascinating verse which gives us the blueprint, the roadmap, the process by which anybody from wherever we are can go to the spiritual world. Very simple process: who, when, what, where, why, everything is answered in this one particular verse. So I'm going to read this verse and a fascinating purport as well. For those of you who got Veda base, you can follow along, or Srimad Bhagavatam hard copy. But we'll quickly go through this verse. The verse is from the 5th canto. The chapter is 19, and the title of the chapter is the description of the island of Jambudvipa. So 5:19:8. Suro vyapyattavanaro nara sarvatmanaye sukrudagyamuttamam bhajeta ramam anujakritam harim ye uttarananayat koshalan divam iti. So I'll read the translation. So let's pay careful attention to this wonderful translation for this verse. Therefore, whether one is a demigod or a demon, a man or a creature other than man, such as a beast or bird, everyone should worship Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So clearly it says everybody should worship Lord Ramachandra. And who is he? A Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appears on this earth just like a human being. There is no need of great sacrifices or penances to worship the Lord, for he accepts even a small service offered by his devotee. Thus, he is satisfied, and as soon as he is satisfied, the devotee is successful. Indeed, Lord Ramachandra brought all the devotees of Ayodhya back home, back to Godhead, Vaikuntha. So beautiful verse gives the blueprint, roadmap, the process by which anybody from wherever we are, man, women, even animals and birds, can offer simple devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, and when he is satisfied, we all go back home, back to Godhead. Everybody follows this verse? Very simple, no complication at all. So I'll read the purport very quickly in the next couple of minutes. So Lord Sri Ramachandra is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he is very easily satisfied by a little service rendered by anyone, human or not. This is the special advantage of worshipping Lord Ramachandra, and there is the same advantage in worshipping Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Krishna and Lord Ramachandra, in the manner of Kshatriyas, sometimes showed their mercy by killing Asuras, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awarded love of Godhead without difficulty, even to the Asuras. all the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but especially Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, and later Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, delivered many of the living entities present before them. Indeed, almost all of them. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore represented in the six-armed form of Sadbhuja Murti, which is the combination of Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The best purpose of human life can be fulfilled by worshipping the Sadbhuja Murti, the form of Lord with six arms, two arms of Lord Ramachandra, two arms of Krishna, and two arms of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is a beautiful verse from 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that is glorifying Lord Ramachandra, not only Lord Ramachandra but also Lord Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how with our simple devotional service we can all go back home, back to Godhead. So for those of you who've been to Jagannath Puri, there is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's home, and when you go there, there is a beautiful painting of Sadbhuj Murti. So you will have two arms, it's one body but it's got six arms. So Lord Krishna is playing the flute in two of his arms, and then you have Lord Ramachandra's bow and arrow, and you also have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's staff and the danda as well. So six-arm form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the message from this particular verse is Lord Ramachandra is very easily pleased, and so is Lord Krishna, and so is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We know Jagai and Madai pastime, how they were, God, how did they get the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And Lord Krishna is also very easy to please. We all know the famous verse, Bhagavad Gita 9.26, Patram Pushpam Palam Toim. That verse, Lord Krishna is teaching us that if one offers leaf or fruit or flower or water, or, in fact, it's or, with love and devotion, I will accept it. It's not like I may accept it, etc. I will accept it. So it's very easy to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead as described in this particular verse. And he walks the talk, right? So Krishna walks the talk. So an example that we can think of is Vidurani. Vidurani is the wife of Vidura. Everybody follows? They're okay? So Vidurani is the wife of Vidura, and we know the beautiful pastime where when Lord Krishna went there, she was so captivated by Lord Krishna, and with devotion she wanted to offer the fruit, the same verse 9.26. So she's got banana, and then instead of giving the banana, she is peeling the banana so that she can give the part of the banana that the Lord can eat easily. So because she's captivated with love and devotion, she throws the banana, the part that we all eat or what can be offered to Lord Krishna, but she's giving the banana peel, the skin of the banana, to the Lord, not knowing that she's giving. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead relished that, because he's not looking at the actual thing that is being offered to him, but the mood and the intention and the love and the devotion by which anything that is offered to him. So again, a very simple process. It doesn't have to be great austerity, penance, sacrifice. A simple offering, even the banana peel, does not matter what is being offered. So that's the beauty of this verse. And Krishna is confirming that in 9.26 and walking his talk in Mahabharata that we can read. Another example that we can all think of is Draupadi. So we know the Draupadi's pastime where she was disrobed, etc. That was very early. But then this was later when they were exiled to the forest for how many years? 13 years. So 14 years is Rama Navami, Rama when he was asked to go to the forest for 13 years. So when they were there, this was later on when they were in the forest, Surya Bhagavan had given Yudhishthir Maharaj the Akshaya Patra. So this Akshaya Patra is something that can give unlimited food to unlimited number of people, but only until Draupadi eats. And according to the Vedic culture, the wife will eat the last after serving the sages, husband, etc. Very last she would eat. So after she eats, there's no need for this Akshaya Patra to produce any of the food. So it stops, and as the pastime goes, here Durvasa Muni was a fiery personality, we know in many pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam. So he appears there with, usually it is said he comes not with one or two disciples, he comes with about 60,000, it says. So 60,000, an army of disciples come with him, and they're all hungry, they want to eat, and then they come right after Draupadi had finished eating. So they said, okay, we are going to come and have prasad. Just 60,000 of us will come and have prasad. They're already in the forest, not much of capability of cooking for that. That is why they have this Akshaya Patra given to them. She says, I'll come back and then we'll honor Prasadam. She does not know what to do. Again, with love and devotion in the helpless nature, she calls out to Krishna. Krishna, what can I do? I need help, because he can curse the Pandavas and there can be a lot of consequences because of it. And Krishna appears immediately in the cottage where they are in the forest. And guess what? Krishna says, okay, I'm here. What do you have for me to eat? So the original problem is what can she do, because there's not no food for not even one person, but 60,000 plus Durvasa Muni. And here Krishna is asked to help, and he says, okay, what do you have for me to eat? And then the predicament is explained, and then Krishna says, okay, what do you have in the Akshaya Patra? So different versions explain slightly differently, but the message is she was able to find 1 grain of rice, and in another version it says a small leaf of the vegetable was left over. It's not in a leftover plate of what Draupadi ate, but it is in this patra that generates the food. And then Krishna actually takes that and he eats that, and then he's satisfied. When Krishna is satisfied, the entire universe is satisfied. So Krishna walks the talk. So again, with love and devotion, very simple ways to please him. And this is a beautiful verse. Again, there's a nice correlation between all these activities, right? In the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this beautiful teaching by Narada Muni to Prachetas. Prachetas, does that ring a bell? Prachetas, the 9 Prachetas, the great personality. So again, this is a beautiful verse all of us know. Yatataro Mola Nisechanena Triptanti Tatskanta Bhujopasam. So that you offer water to the root of the tree, the entire tree gets energized, including the fruit and the leaf and the branches, everything. So you don't have to pour water to the fruit separately, to the leaf separately, branches separately. So similarly, when you offer food to the stomach through the mouth, then the eyes get energized. Just imagine our sabji and everything. Can you put it to the eyes? You cannot, right? So Krishna is satisfied. So when the root is satisfied, everybody is satisfied. So here in this case, when Krishna was satisfied, Lord Krishna was satisfied, then Durvasa Muni and all of them were completely suddenly were feeling full. Oh, how can we go back to Draupadi's cottage and honor the prasadam? It will be not good as a guest when we go there and not honor when we said we are going there, and when everything is there, we can't eat. So that will be an offense. So let's go away from this bathing part of it, away from their cottage. So she was saved because of this easy way to please Lord Krishna. Now today we are celebrating Rama Navami here. So an example from Ramayana is Shabari. Shabari is a tribal woman who is a disciple of a sage Matanga. She'd been serving her Guru Maharaj for many years, and one day Matanga was about to leave his body. He said, because of your service to the Lord Ramachandra will come and personally see you. And she's been waiting, and finally Lord Ramachandra comes there, and then she what does she do? She takes the berries because she wants to offer the best. So she takes the berries from the forest, she tastes it, and anything that is sour and not sweet, she throws it away. And then when Lord Ramachandra is there, she tastes it again. Whatever is sweet, she knows it's sweet, so she gives the half-eaten fruit berry to Lord Ramachandra. Again, the verse that we are reading today is very easy to please. Again, Lord Ramachandra relished that, right? So it's not that he's looking at the social status. The social status of this person is not the best when we compare the social status. So she's a tribal woman. And also, Lord is not looking at the ritual purity. We go by what the do's and don'ts. He's not looking at the ritual purity as much as the height or the peak of devotion that she had. So again, this particular verse that we read from the 5th canto, 19th chapter, 8th verse, glorifies the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how easy it is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the natural question for us would be, why would we have to go through so much of austerity, do so much of chanting, we go to all these holy dhams, and we have to go through all these austerities and sacrifice and penances, etc. Now this is, you can think of an analogy. All of you would have seen Olympic medal giving ceremony, right? So for an uninitiated person, you can see, there's a person who's standing in the gold medal podium, 2 steps, and and then he's bending his neck, and the gold medal is being offered to him. What's the big deal? He just takes 2 steps and bending his. But that's the pinnacle of what he had achieved throughout his lifetime, going to the practice and whatnot for entire lifetime. So that is what it is. It's easy to please the Lord. That is why we have all these processes for us to do arati and chanting, etc. It will take us to this height of perfection of bhakti, which is very simple in the end to offer. So that correlates that wonderful 3 pastimes as to how it's easy to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but we have to go through the hard yards for us to get to that point of perfection, for us to offer that simple offering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Rama Navami. So Rama, we heard from this particular verse and from Ramayana as well that Lord Rama is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But also in our tradition, there is Jayadev Goswami. He's a great poet who lived about 350 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished the works of Jayadev Goswami. And he wrote Gita Govinda. And the beginning part of Gita Govinda is Dasa Avatar Stotra. You may have heard that. Dasa Avatar, 10 avatars. So it's like top 10 songs, you can say, right? Like there are unlimited avatars of Lord. Not because in any order 10, like it doesn't mean 10th is less than number 1, but it's just the top 10 Leela avatars of the Lord, unlimited Lord, incarnation of the Lord, but top 10 is described in the Jayadev Goswami's Gita Govinda or Dasavatar Stotra. And the 12th verse especially includes all of them together, because each verse is dedicated to one incarnation, but the 12th verse actually gives us a consolidated 10 incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the 12th verse. Vedam uttarate jagati vate bhulokam udviprate daityam dharete balam chalete chatrasayam purvate paulatsyam jayate halam kalete karunyamatanvate mlechan muchete dasakriti krite krishnaya tubhyam namaha. Vedam uttarate jagati vate bhulokam udviprate daityam dharete balam chalete chatrasayam purvate paulatsyam jayate halam kalete karunyamatanvate mlechan muchete dasakriti krite krishnaya tubhyam. So Matsya avatar or fish avatar, tortoise or Kurma avatar, Matsya Kurma Varaha, boar avatar, then Narsimha avatar, half man, half lion, then you have Vamana avatar, then we have Parshuram, then we have Lord Rama. We are celebrating the Rama Navami celebration right here in ISKCON Scarborough. Then we have Lord Balaram, then Lord Buddha, and then Kalki, who is yet to appear as well. So again, Lord Rama is the 7th incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not in any particular order, but he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, as far as Navami, we hear that word Navami. What is Navami? Rama Navami. You've heard this again and again. So we know appearance day of Lord Ramachandra. So Navami is nothing but the lunar day. It's called Tithi. It's called Tithi. So in a lunar month, you have 2 fortnights. I don't want to go too deep, but then just for everybody to understand. So we have 2 fortnights, and it's called as Paksha. The fortnights are called as Paksha. It's either Gaura Paksha or Krishna Paksha. Gaura means bright fortnight. It's the waxing moon which ends in Purnima, that terminology you heard. And then the waning moon, which is a Krishna Paksha, and it ends in Amavasya. So the 14 days out of the 15 days are common in the first half of the fortnight and the second half. For example, yesterday was Kamada Ekadasi. How many Ekadasis we have in a month? 2 Ekadasis. Today is Dwadasi. How many Dwadasis we have in a month? 2. Like that, we have 2 Navamis in the 9th day of the lunar month is called as Navami. So we have 2 Navamis, one in the bright fortnight and one in the dark fortnight. So Navami, Ramanavami, this happens in the bright fortnight. It doesn't mean that when it is the bright fortnight, it's something more auspicious than what happens in the Krishna, second part of it, right? It's the same because Ashtami. So any famous events that happened on the 8th day? Janmashtami, appearance day of Lord Krishna, Janmashtami. Radhashtami, 8th day as well, appearance day of Srimati Radharani. Then we have Bahulashtami, that also happens during the month of Damodar. Bahulashtami, what is that? The appearance day of Radha Kund and Sham Kund when Arishtasura demon was killed. Then Navami, of course, the 9th day is Ramanavami is more famous. What about the 10th day? Anything famous on Dasami? Dashara, Vijaya Dasami. So it's called Vijaya Dasami. That's the day, that's the conclusion of this Ramayana, right? So Lord Rama defeated Ravana and then he came back to Ayodhya. Actually, it's the day that goddess Durga also defeated a very fearful demon, Mahishasura. That is also Vijaya Dasami. Of course, we talked about Ekadasi, Dwadasi, Trayodasi, 13th day, Nityananda Trayodasi, and then 14th day is Chaturdasi. Narsimha Chaturdasi, right? Purnima, Gaura Purnima, and then Amavasya. Amavasya is the dark night, you can say new moon. That's when we offer Tarpana. Tarpana is you offer water and black sesame to the ancestors. Amongst the ancestors, Krishna says, I am Aryama, right? So these are all, so that is what does Rama Navami is, right? So Rama is Supreme Personality of Godhead and Navami is the 9th day and it can either be in the waxing moon or the waning moon. So, in which yuga, because we're talking about the appearance of Lord Ramachandra, in which yuga did Lord Ramachandra appear? Treta Yuga. Just like we have summer, winter, spring, autumn, etc., we have 4 yugas. So right now we are in the 4th, which is Kali Yuga, which lasts, according to our scriptures, it says 432,000 years. So you add another 432,000 years to it, it becomes Dwapara Yuga, where Lord Krishna exhibited his pastimes. And then add 432,000 years to that, which comes to about 1.2 million years. That's when Lord Ramachandra appeared and enacted his pastimes. We add another 432,000 years to that Treta Yuga time, it comes to about 1.7 million years. That's the Satya Yuga. So the good news is, after this current time period of Kali Yuga, we are going back to Satya Yuga. But it takes long time because Kali Yuga started not long ago, relatively speaking. When did Kali Yuga start? 3102 BC. How do we know that? It's stated in Mahabharata. So if you add 2026 to 3102 BC, so we are into 5128 years into Kali Yuga. So still very early. We still have a long way to go in Kali Yuga itself before we get on to, and then at the end of it, Kalki Avatar will be appearing as well. So the next is, in which dynasty did Lord Rama appear? Anybody? There's 2 main dynasties. So we can all say our Gotra, right? So all of you have heard this, you go to some of the temples, they'll say, okay, for us to do Archana, what is your Gotra? There are 7 main Rishis, right? Sapta Rishis, and then Rishis, the Gotra, then your Nakshatra, it can be one of the 27 Nakshatras, and then it can be your Rasis, one of the 12 Rasis. But usually we are all connected to some Gotra, right? Some of the sages, that is what is Gotra. So I'm from Garga Gotra. Garga Gotra is the priest who actually did the Namakarna to Lord Krishna. He does a lot of fire sacrifice. Maybe my attraction towards fire sacrifice is there. All of us are actually connected to some sage. Whether we know or not, we are connected. So if we don't know, we'll say it's Kashyapa Gotra, right? So, but when we are referring to Supreme Personality of Godhead like Lord Krishna or Lord Rama, there is no Gotra for them, but they come from 2 Kshatriya dynasties. So Kshatriyas are from 2 main dynasties. Krishna is from Moon dynasty, Chandra Vamsa. So right from Chandra, then you have famous personalities like Yayati, Yadu, and then you have Bharat, and then you have Vasudev, not Vasudev. Vasudev is the father of Vasudeva, who is Krishna, and then Krishna. So that is one Moon dynasty. And then from the Sun dynasty, Surya Vamsh is starting from Surya himself, which is Vivaswan, then Vaivasvata Manu, then Ikshvaku, then all the personalities who are instrumental in bringing Ganga to earth. You remember some of the names? Sagara, Asamanjasa, Amshuman, then Dilipa, Bhagirath, all of them. And then we also have Katwanga. I'm just dropping in some names because these are Katwanga, if you remember, he's a great king, earthly king. He fought for the Devatas. Just imagine, Devatas who are so powerful in their fight against demons, they want his self. So how much of a powerful personality this Katwanga is. Anyway, it's a beautiful pastime scattered in 1st canto and 9th canto as well. But in the end, the Devatas are asking him, you fought for us so wonderfully well and made us win. What do you want as a boon? And he says, can you please tell me how long I will live? And they say, this is all you wanted to ask? By the way, you have 48 minutes to live. 48 minutes, one muhurta. Immediately he comes from the higher planetary system and he performs his devotional service and he goes back home, back to Godhead. So he's more fortunate, and actually he had less time than even Parikshit Maharaj. We all think Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days, 7 nights. He had only 48 minutes and he went back. So, and then in the same tradition, after Katwanga, there was Raghu. They say Raghu dynasty. Lord Ramachandra came. Raghu, and then Dasharath and Lord Ramachandra. So Lord Ramachandra appeared in which dynasty? Sun or moon? Sun. So Surya Vamshi. So for those of you who follow sports or cricket, some of the individuals' names are also like Surya Vamshi nowadays. There is a young cricketer who's sensational. He's playing in all this IPL and India and everything. His name is Vaibhav Surya Vamshi. So in a way, Surya Vamshi means he's coming in the tradition of Surya. So we don't know where he's coming from, but at least the name is Surya Vamshi. So anybody is coming in that. So that is the dynasty in which Lord Rama appeared, because we are discussing about the appearance of Lord Ramachandra. So again, there'll be some offerings now, don't worry, and then we'll go for another 20 minutes or so, as much as we can cover, and then we'll have Pushpanjali 10 minutes before. So far we are okay? We're getting into the details of Lord Ramachandra. So usually we go to a pastime, but I just wanted to get into which dynasty is coming, which yuga that he appeared, etc. Now, getting into the actual appearance, right? So that is what we are here for. Now, Ramayana, there are different versions of Ramayana depending on the tradition, region, language, etc. Okay, so different versions of Ramayana. Now, we have Valmiki Ramayana, which is the most ancient, penned down by Valmiki. But by the way, Valmiki was originally not a great personality. His name was Ratnakara. He was a forest bandit, thief, you can say. So he steals from everybody who comes to the forest. And one fine day, Narada Muni was walking in the forest and he went to steal from him. Give me whatever you have. He said, I'm a brahmachari, I don't have anything. By the way, you're stealing from everybody. Narada Muni said, you're stealing from everybody and giving it to your family, feeding your family. Please do me a favor, go and ask them, they are sharing your wealth. Will they share your sinful reactions? Because everybody has to suffer the sinful reactions. You know what you're doing is wrong, but you're doing it for your family as well. So kindly ask them whether they are okay to share your sinful activities that you're doing. So he proudly went to his family and he asked them, and they said, what do you mean sharing your sinful activities? No. Your duty as the head of the family is to feed us and give us the wealth. Why would we share whatever sinful reactions that you are doing? We don't care what you do. You just have to take care of the family. So no way we can share that. Not that they have a choice, but they said absolutely no, we will not share. So he was shocked, disappointed. He comes back to Narada and he says, no, my family said they will not share it. So what is the point of me doing this? I don't want to do this. I want to stop the sinful activities. So what is my recourse for this? So then Narada Muni says, you chant Rama's name again and again. Because of the sinful activities, it is said he can't even chant Rama. So then Narada Muni actually twisted it and he said, okay, don't worry about Rama, do Mara. Mara is okay. So if you chant Mara, 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 it becomes Mara. He could not chant Rama, but he could chant Mara. And then he continuously chanted for years and years together, and it is said that the anthill grew around him, and that's why it's called as Valmiki. And it is also said that Narada Muni instructed him on the entire Ramayana to him, so he was able to grasp it. And also Brahma actually gave him the vision to see the past, present and future of Lord Ram. Now if you fast forward it to Mahabharata time, I'm saying fast forward because Treta Yuga to Dwapara Yuga, and then in Mahabharata, who was the person who was watching the live telecast of Mahabharata war? Sanjaya was watching the live telecast because of Vyasadev's vision that was given to him. But here, it's not, even though it's a contemporary of Lord Ram, here the vision by Lord Brahma was given to know everything past, present and future about Lord Ram. And therefore he penned Ramayana, which was 24,000 verses. But again, based on the tradition, you have Kamba Ramayana. In South India, you have Kamba Ramayana. You have Ramcharitmanas. That is one of the most beautiful one, right? By Tulsi Das, where there is a lot of bhakti involved in that. Adhyatma Ramayana is another type of, another version of Ramayana as well. But as far as the appearance day is concerned, and the beautiful appearance of Lord Ramachandra, so we read, the version is almost the same in all the Ramayana, this part of it, right? So King Dasarath is the king of Ayodhya. But by the way, Ayodhya is still Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh. And he had 3 wives. So at that time, it was permitted, legal. So this was in Treta Yuga. He had 3 wives. One is Kaushalya, first wife, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra, the 3 wives of Dasharath. But he was always disappointed and sad because he did not have children from any of the 3 wives. So what does he do? He approaches Rishya Shringa. Rishya Shringa, for those of you very familiar with Srimad Bhagavatam, Rishya Shringa is a very powerful sage who had deer horn, and he was very, very powerful personality. And he says, don't worry, you will have children if you do Putra Kameshti Yagya. Putra means children or son, Kameshti means wish, if you do that. Now, this is not something that anybody can say, okay, we'll take this sukta from Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and do it, and then we will have the same. This is impossible for humans to do this type of sacrifice because he's a great personality. He does that. It is said that the mantras for this Putra Kameshti is scattered in various samhitas, various brahmanas and various aranyakas as well, and it's impossible for anybody to do. Anyway, Rishya does that fire sacrifice. And from the fire appears Agni Dev himself with a pot of payasam itself. It's like a sweet rice. And he gives it to Dasharath Maharaj. Now you distribute it to your 3 wives and they will have children. So he takes that, gives half of it to Kaushalya, the first wife, 1/4 to the second wife Kaikeyi, and 1/4 to the third wife named Sumitra. And then with the goodness of heart, because all the 3 wives are very close to each other, so the first and the second wife, Kaushalya and Kaikeyi, give a little bit of their portion to Sumitra as well. And Lord Ramachandra appears as the son of Kaushalya, Bharat appears as the son of Kaikeyi, and the twins, because of the sharing of the sweet rice by the first and the second wife, she gets twins, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. And because of they giving, Lakshmana was always close to Ram, and Shatrughna was always close to Bharat. Lord Ramachandra Bhagavani ki. So that was a beautiful, wonderful appearance of Lord Ramachandra. And there are 3 Bharats, by the way. The younger brother of Lord Ramachandra is called as Bharat, and he is the son of Kaikeyi. But in our scriptures, there are more than 1 Bharat. You remember, there are more than 1 Bharat. So this Bharat is a second wife's Kaikeyi's son. But then now we are reading in a condensed way 9.10 and 9.11 from Srimad Bhagavatam. But if you fast forward to the 20th chapter of the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishwamitra is there. His wife is Menaka, and they have a daughter called Shakuntala, and Shakuntala married Dushmanta, and their son is also called as Bharat. And Srimad Bhagavatam says there is no king equal to this Bharat. Not only because he didn't have pet dogs and cats. Nowadays, everybody's got pet dogs and cats, right? He's got pet lions and tigers. He just throws the tigers, plays with them. Very powerful personality. Later on, he actually rescued the wives of Devatas from Rasatala planet as well. Demons had actually taken them there. So he had rescued them from there. And we heard this verse, Yada Idai Dharmasya Glanir Bhavatir Bharata. So this Bharata, so the Pandavas are referred to all the time in Bhagavad Gita, descendants of Bharata. That is this Bharata, who is the grandson of Vishwamitra. So that's the second Bharata. The third Bharata, 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Rishabdev is there, and he had 100 sons, and the eldest son is called as Bharat. Remember what happened to him in the next life? He became a deer, and then he becomes Jada Bharat as well. And because of that Bharata, earth is called as Bharat Varsha. Before it was called as Ajanaba Varsha, and it got changed because of this great personality Bharat. Now, In a movie as well, or in life, you have dualities, right? Good, bad, dark, bright, birth, death, etc. So in a movie also you have a hero and a villain. In this case, it's a moral hero is Lord Ram. You also have an anti-hero. I don't want to say villain is Ravana, but anti-hero is Ravana. Now, when we're talking about appearance of Lord Rama, it's not just Rama being there. The whole beautiful nature of this Ramayana because of this conflict between Rama and Ravana. Who's Ravana? So go back in time, the four Kumaras go to Vaikunta to meet Lord, and then the two gatekeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, stop them. What is this 5-year-old guy? Four of them look like 5-year-old, but they're the oldest, but they look the youngest. So what are you doing here? Go away from here. So they curse to become, to take birth in the material world. They're cursed by Jaya and Vijaya. But then Lord appears and he says, no, wait, I can't undo the curse, but I can modify it to reduce it. So you either take 3 lifetimes as my devotees in material earth. No, sorry, other way around. 3 lifetimes as my enemies and 7 lifetimes as my devotees. So usually everybody will prefer, I want to be a devotee, but they don't want to be away from the Lord for so long. So they said 3 means less time away from the Lord. Yeah, we don't mind being the enemies of you. So they become Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu in the Satya Yuga to be killed by Lord Varahadev and Lord Narasimhadev. In the Treta Yuga, they become Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and eventually we know the result. They were killed by Lord Ram's arrows. And then in the Dwapara Yuga, they became Sishupal and Dandavakra to be killed by Lord's Sudarshan Chakra as well as by Kaumodaki club. Dandavakra was killed by Kaumodaki club. So, and also the supporting cast, when we know there is a hero, there is an anti-hero, there is a supporting cast, like Lord Ramachandra had Lakshman, Hanuman. The other side, Ravana had Maricha, Suparnaka, and all of them as well. So it makes a very, very fascinating Ramayana. So maybe we'll touch upon very quickly, Ramayana is 24,000 verses, right? So we can talk on and on about the glories and wonderful pastimes in Ramayana, but I just want to hit the key points there. So one is the marriage of Lord Rama to Sita Devi. So King Janaka is the king of Mithila. Mithila is the current day Bihar in India. So there, the extraordinary appearance of Srimati Sita Devi, because she appeared when the king was plowing the land. Now you may be wondering, how can a king plow the land? Is he an agriculturist? No, it's a custom for them to plow the land before a fire sacrifice. And he finds Sita Devi there. Because of the extraordinary daughter that he had, actually the daughter of Bhumi Devi, Mother Earth, he wants an extraordinary son-in-law. So what he says, okay, bring that Pinaka. Pinaka is the bow of Lord Shiva. And 300 people had to move it. Just imagine a train. If there's a train that is stuck, it's not moving. 300 people have to move the train, even to move few inches. This is a bow that has to be moved by 300 people. So all the kings and everybody tried to lift the bow. They can't even move that inch. And Vishwamitra comes with Ram and Lakshman. Ram actually effortlessly lifts that bow, and he not only tries to string it, but when he tries to string it, the bow actually breaks with a thunderous noise, and then Srimati Radharani actually knows that is the husband that she's choosing, because this is during the Swayamvar, right, by the show of strength. So she garlands Lord Ramachandra. Sitaram Bhagavani ki. Yeah. So because of this thunderous sound, Parashuram, who's the 6th incarnation, he comes. That's the next episode, right? Parashuram comes. Who is that who broke Lord Shiva's arrow, Pinaka? So this Pinaka, for those of you who chant Vedic verses, there is a suktam called Ayusha Suktam. Yo Brahma, Brahmana Ujjahara, Pranaistira Kirti Vasaha, Pinaki. Pinaki is the one who owns the Pinaka bow. So Lord Shiva is called as Pinaki because his bow is Pinaka. So he said he's a Bhakta of Lord Shiva. So Parashuram, who's a personality of God, is also a Bhakta of Lord Shiva. He's, who broke my Lord Shiva's bow? He comes, and then Dasharath tries to stop him. He charges beyond that and goes to Lord Shiva. He says, you broke Pinaka. Let's see if you have the power to break this Vishnu bow. It's unbelievably powerful, it says, according to Ramayana. Very calmly, he's able to string that bow, and he says, where do I leave the arrow now? And then Parshuram understands that he's the supreme personality of Godhead, and he gives him the power because he had already killed how many generations of Kshatriyas, Parshuram? 21. And then he gives, including Kartavira Arjuna, he gives that potency to Lord Ram. So it's a transition from the 6th incarnation to the 7th incarnation, Lord Ram. So maybe in the next 5 minutes, because we'll have to end it at 11:50. So 11:45 they said I'm going to take 5 more minutes if it's okay. So we'll hit some of the key points. I want to discuss about 3 key triggers in Ramayana. Okay? One is the trigger for the exile for Lord Rama and Lakshmana and Sita to go to the forest for 14 years. The second one is trigger for the conflict, the whole Ramayana conflict with Ravana. And the third is the trigger for abduction of Sita Devi. So maybe I'll pack it up in a way that we can all understand it very easily. Is that okay so far? I'm trying to pack as much as possible for us to understand the foundation of Ramayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, and how merciful he is and very easy to please him. So the trigger for this exile, mother of the second wife of Dasharatha is Kaikeyi, and she was a fearless warrior. So it is said many years ago when there was a conflict and war, they were in the war zone, the wheel of this chariot had come out, and it is said that she held the wheel and she drove the chariot with Dasaratha Maharaj out of the danger zone. So it was impossible for anyone else to do. Even the most expert charioteer would not have done it, but she did that, holding the wheel and also taking the chariot out of the danger zone. So Dasharatha was very pleased and he said, I'm going to grant you 2 boons. Whatever you want, I'm going to give. You either ask now or later. So it was a rain check that she took. And it was an open secret. It's not just only Kaikeyi knew about it. Everybody knew about it. Then later on, the hunchback maidservant Manthara, when she knew that Lord Rama is going to be coronated as the king, she said, you will lose the influence. You're a second wife. You will completely lose your influence. And also, your son will be very insignificant. Bharata will be very insignificant. Therefore, you ask these 2 boons. So she is the one, the maidservant is actually instructing Kaikeyi to ask these 2 boons. So one is to make your son Bharat as the king. And second is to send Lord Ram away from here for 14 years. Now the question is, why 14 years? Could she have not stopped with the first wish? Right? Just make your son as the king. So Ram can still be there. No, because out of sight, out of mind. So because everybody loved Lord Ram. So if Lord Ram is still there, but he's not the king, the whole country may revolt. Therefore, keep him away. So that was the foundation of. As much as we can get upset with what Manthara did, but what she's doing in the spiritual sense, the Devatas wanted Lord Ramachandra's help to kill Ravana. So that is why she did, right? But in our day-to-day thing, the power of bad influence. So we'll have to be very careful about who we are getting influenced by. So, and then Lord Ramachandra accepted. So that is the trigger for the exile. Now the trigger for the conflict is we still have some time. Suparnaka, right? So she's the sister. 2 more minutes, mother? Sure. Yeah, Suparnaka is the sister of Ravana, and then she's a Rakshasa, but she assumes a beautiful form. Anybody remembers any parallel with Srimad Bhagavatam? Rakshasa or demoness assuming a beautiful form, starting with P? Putana. Yeah, so she appears in a beautiful form. She sees Ramachandra. By chance, she comes there. Oh, he's so handsome, so powerful. So she approaches Lord Ram. Can you please get married to me? I want to get married to you. And then she said, I've taken a vow, because they can marry more than one wife. As you know, Lord Rama's father was married to 3 wives. I've taken a wife to marry only one. That's my beautiful wife, Sita Devi. But here's my brother. But even Lord Lakshman was married. His wife is Urmila, and she's there in Ayodhya. So then she says, no, Lakshman says, I'm just a servant. Go back and ask Lord Ram. So back and forth it was going. She gets upset and she knows the root cause why she can't get married to Lord Ram is because of Sita Devi. She tries to attack. Lord Lakshman takes the sword and cuts off her ears and nose, which is the ultimate disgrace. She runs to Kara And Dushana, the forest kings who are working under Ravana, they send for us. Actually, it is 14,000. Yeah, 14,000 powerful Rakshasas. And Lord Ram kills them single-handedly after he says, Lakshmana, and takes Sita Devi and go to a safe place. And he kills all the 40,000 Rakshasas, kills Kara, kills Dushana. Then she goes to her own brother to Lanka and she says, by the way, there is a very powerful personality. And also, by the way, he's got a very beautiful wife that he doesn't deserve, you deserve. So it's not just the anger, but also desire. So that's the trigger for this whole conflict. And the last part of it, which I want to touch base, is the trigger for abduction. So when Ravana is very angry and he's also desirous, now he sends Maricha. Maricha is a magical personality who creates Maya. He's extraordinary in that, it is said. So he says, please go and help me abduct Sita. And he says, no, because he's got a history. Because when Lord Rama and Lakshman were actually serving Vishwamitra and doing fire sacrifice, he was creating trouble. What did Lord Rama do? He did not kill him. He takes the bow and arrow, and it's almost like a flying scooter. He puts him on this arrow and throws him so many yojanas away into the ocean, but he does not kill him. So he realized that Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he says, with this person, abduct his wife? No, I cannot do that. That's not, he's a very powerful personality. So Ravana says, if you don't do it, I'm going to kill you. So he realizes better to be killed by Ram than by Ravana. So he assumes this beautiful form of a golden deer with jeweled spots and comes near the ashram of Sita Devi. She gets attracted by this beautiful deer. She says, Rama, please go get that deer for me. Rama goes, and then eventually Rama knows that it is actually Maricha, kills the deer with the arrow, and when he's dying, he says, hey Lakshmana, hey Sita, in Ram's voice. So Sita hears that and says, Lakshmana, please go and see what happened to Lord Ram. Lakshmana says, nothing can happen to Lord Ram, don't worry. No, I insist, go on. So at that time, he draws the Lakshman Rekha, the powerful Lakshman Rekha. Nothing will happen if she stays inside, but as long as she steps out, there is trouble. Ravana takes this opportunity. He's also a shape shifter like Maricha. So the 10 heads become one head. He becomes like a sadhu sage. Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. He says, please come out. That's not good for you to stay and for me to come. You come out of that. Comes out of the Lakshman Rekha, takes her in this flying chariot, and he goes away. And we know the history after that, Hanuman's involvement, etc. So as they're getting ready, there is a boatman. There's one more pastime. This boatman is actually trying, this was early in the pastime, right, of Ramayana. Rama, Lakshman and Sita are trying to cross Ganges, and they get onto the boat, and the boatman says, no, I can't take you to the boat. I've heard the story where you put the leg on a stone and the stone became a lady, Ahalya, Gautama Rishi's wife. So if you put the leg on my boat, something may happen. It may turn into stone and it may drown. That's my only livelihood. So I have to wash your leg. Then the power is gone. So he takes this opportunity to wash the lotus feet of the Lord, and then he washes. And then as they cross on the other side, Sita Devi is giving a ring. He says, no, I can't take the ring. One boatman cannot charge another boatman. Ram is asking, why am I a boatman? Yeah, you are crossing, you are taking all the souls across the ocean of material life. I'm taking the souls across the river. So how can one boatman charge another boatman? So that takes us back to the verse that we started, 519.8, when we worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very easy to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he takes us back home, back to Godhead, Vaikuntha, just like this boatman. His name is Kevat. He had mentioned it. So there are very many beautiful pastimes from Ramayana. We are condensing that, and we're taking the key points from 9.10 and 9.11 from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the condensed version of the 24,000 verses of Valmiki Ramayana. Ramachandra Bhagavani ki Gaura Premanande. So we'll have a flower petal offering for the next few minutes. So if you have any questions, we can discuss during the prasadam time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.